Okay, anything from chapter 7? Yeah, there we go. Okay, profitability index for an investment with following cash flow. So, what's the first thing we should do? Remember, the formula is 1 plus NPV over initial investment. Do we know the initial investment? Yeah. Do we know 1? Yeah. So what do we need to find? NPV. How am I going to do that on my calculator? CF. Second. Work. CF0. 21,500 negative. Enter. Arrow down. C01. 7,400. Enter. What do I put for F01? Just leave it, right? C02. 9,800. Enter. Arrow down. Leave that one. And C03 is 8,900. Enter. What button do I hit next? NPV. And what do I put in for I? 9. Enter. What do I do now?
Down.
Arrow down and then compute. Okay, so our NPV is 409. So my next thing that I would tell you to do is divide by the initial investment. Do I include the negative? No. Nope. So divide by the initial investment of 21,500 equal, and then plus 1. I'm getting 1.02, which is what they say we're getting.
Sorry.
Oh, no worries. I'm glad you brought it out so we can see that it works. Because otherwise, I would think I have to go fix the homework, right? Questions? Okay, anything else on chapter 7?
Can you do practice number 3?
Practice number 3. Before I get out of it, anything else from homework on chapter 7? Okay. Oh, come on. This one? Okay. Let's see. We have 2 projects, and we're going to read down below. They're asking for payback period, they're asking for NPV, they're asking for IRR. I think that's all they're asking for. Okay, so first of all, it says consider the cash flows of 2 mutually exclusive projects. Should we be using IRR for this analysis? Absolutely not, because IRR fails to take it into consideration the scale of the project, so we can't do that. Assume the discount rate for both projects is 9%. So it's asking for the payback period for each project. Let's talk about how to do that. Get your calculator out. And by the way, I'm going to go ahead and you've got your years, you've got your cash flows here, but what I'm going to do is put the balance up here on the board. The balance in year 0 for the AZM is minus 535,000. That's year 0. Now, how do I get the balance that I showed you in class? How do I get it for year 1? Very good. So we're going to say 535, 1, 2, 3, negative, plus 337, 1, 2, 3, equal. We got negative 198,000. Have we broken even yet? Nope, because we're still negative. Now, in year 2, we get 214,000. And so what is the balance at the end of year 2? Plus 214,000 equals. We've got 16,000. Have we broken even yet?
Yes.
Okay, now we know we broke even somewhere between year 1 and year 2. We know we're going to take the number of the last year that has a negative balance. We're going to write that year down. And in this case, it's year 1. And then we're going to add the remaining amount that we owe, and we're going to make it a positive. We still owe 198,000. We're going to divide that by the amount of money we're receiving in the next year. How much are we receiving in the next year? 214,000.
Can you repeat, please?
Okay.
What do you want?
Okay, so because this is the last year with a negative balance. And so if you look back at the slides, I give you the procedure for this. It says take the number of the year that has the last negative balance, and then you're going to add to it the money you still owe, divide by the money you're going to receive in the next year. In this case, at the end of year 1, we still owe 198,000. And we're going to be collecting 214,000 during year 2. And so somewhere toward the end of the year, I can tell it's going to take almost all year to get there. Somewhere toward the end of the year, we're going to break even. But we're going to try to find out right now where that is. So I'm going to take 198,000 divide by 214,000 equals plus 1 equal. I'm getting 1.925, and they're saying to do it for 2 decimal places, and that gives us 1.93, which is exactly what it says in the answer. Are you with me so far? Okay, so that's AZM. Let's talk about A, Z, is it F? The other one, whatever the other one is. What is our balance at the beginning? It's minus $885,000. I'm going to go ahead and put that in my calculator. 885,000 negative. And then what am I going to add to get the balance at the end of year 1? Yep, plus 367,000 equals. So I've got minus 518,000 here. Minus 518,000. Have I broken even yet? Nope. Okay, so how do I get the balance at the end of year 2? What do I add? Or, yeah, at the end of year 2. Yep, plus 454,000 equals negative 64,000. Have I broken even yet? Nope. I'm going to have to put a year 3. I wrote this in an unfortunate place, but you guys will know it's year 3, right? So what are we going to do to get the cash balance at the end, or the balance at the end of year 3? Yeah, add 307,000. Boom, 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 boom. Have we broken even? Yes. Now, I'm going to ask Mr. Bohm, because he knows now. What number am I going to write down here? So last time I wrote 1 plus. What am I going to do this time? 2. Yeah, very good. 2 plus. Oh wait, yeah, this is 3. So the last year with a negative balance is 2. That is a 2. Plus, what am I going to put in this, in place of this 198,000? What am I going to put there?
64.
Yeah, 64,000. Divide by how much?
307,000.
Very good, 307,000. Okay, so here's what I'm going to do on my calculator. By the way, what happens to these thousands? Just go away, right? So why mess myself up worrying that I'm going to get that wrong? So I'm just going to say 64 divided by 307. Now what do I need to add, Mr. Bohm?
2.
Yep. I'm getting 2.21. And the answer is 2.21, so we're good to go. Any questions so far? Okay, now, the next one, we're going to use, what's the first key we're going to hit on the calculator? Oh, CF, second, clear work, right? We're going to use the CF keys to handle both B and C. So here's what I'm going to tell you you want to do. You want to solve B and C. My dogs are going outside. You gotta solve B and C for AZM first while you've got those cash flows in there, and then solve B and C for AZF after. Does that make sense? You don't want to type that stuff in again. Okay, so I'm gonna say CF second work. What is CF0 for AZM? Yep, negative 535,000. Negative, enter, arrow down. What's C01? Yeah. Enter, arrow down. What's that 01? Yeah, it's just one. And they're all gonna be one, right? 214,000. Arrow down, 167,000. Boom, boom, boom. Enter. Now, I like to go back and check just to make sure I got my numbers in right, and I think I did. What button should I hit next? NPV. And what should I put in? Yeah, 9. Enter. 9, enter. And what do I do next? Down, and then compute. Very good. I'm getting $83,248.47, which is what they get. Now, at this point, you'd be tempted to put the one in for the other one and get the NPV for that, but don't. What button should I hit next? IRR. And then what do I hit? Compute. 18.79%, so we're good to go. Now, if there had been more than one sign change here, should I even be calculating IRR? No. Okay, so we're going to clear that out. CF second work. What's CF0 for AZF? Yeah, 885,000 negative. Enter. Arrow down. What's C01? 367,000. Enter. Arrow down. C02. 54,000. Enter. Boom. Come on. Arrow down. C03. 307,000 bucks. Enter. What do I do next? NPV. What do I put in for I? 9. Enter. Arrow down. And what do I do here? Compute. I'm getting 70,880, which is exactly right. What button should I hit next? IRR. And then what should I do? Compute. I'm getting 13.55%. Was that you, Ms. Herdman, that asked for this one? Is that all clear? Cool.
After you hit IRR, do you just hit compute?
Yep. Did it work for you? Yay! Other questions for Chapter 7 practice? Chapter 7 is relatively easy compared to some of the other stuff. So if you don't mind, we'll move on to Chapter 8.